Let's talk about Modern Warfare 2's upcoming Season 1 DLC, the download information, the release times, some teasers, and much more. Be sure to subscribe for the latest MW2 updates. Of course, if you guys didn't know, Season 1 of Modern Warfare 2 releases on Wednesday, November 16th. We'll be covering all of the reveal information and all the content we're getting on this channel. Of course, we're going to see some new MW2 weapons, MP maps, the Battle Pass, Warzone 2 is releasing, DMZ is also releasing, so there's going to be a ton of stuff to cover on the channel on that day, so stay tuned for that. But first up here, we have some early information on what the download is looking like, the sizes, and some other teasers we're getting right now for this upcoming update. First up here, MW2 Season 1 times. We're most likely going to get this season releasing at these times up on screen. This is the classic release time for any major DLC or new season. 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, and we have some other times across the seas, 5 p.m. UK, 8 p.m. KSA, and then on Thursday morning, for the Australians, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., and then for New Zealand players, 6 a.m. If you guys want me to add other time zones to my little list here, my template, let me know in the comment section. I'll be sure to shrink it and add some more countries for you guys. I try to get as many time zones as I possibly can, but of course, again, this is the classic new release time. In the past, seasons would come out at midnight Eastern. I know for Modern Warfare 2019, the new seasonal updates would release at 3 a.m. Eastern, which was such a weird time. So I like these times a lot, right in the middle of the day. I know if you're working, it's probably not that good, but for the most part, this makes the most sense to me. So let me know down below your opinions on that and some stuff on the actual download here. There's a lot of weird stuff happening. So first up, we got this from PlayStation Game Size, Call of Duty MW2 update 1.08 added to database. Now, there are several updates that are coming to the database over the next couple of weeks and over the past week. Obviously, we had a pretty big update last night. What's interesting is that Xbox players, let me read this first. Overnight, a new update for MW2 went live, 778 millibytes on PlayStation, but 40 to 50 gigabytes on Xbox. Stay tuned for the patch notes later today. Of course, we went through those yesterday in my video. Link to that will be down below in the description. The update was also around 950 millibytes on PC. Not sure why it was 50 gigs for Xbox. And part of the reason why that's the case is most likely because a lot of the Season 1 content is being loaded onto this game in preparation for, of course, it's only a week and a half from now until this season comes out. And if you guys didn't know, a lot of the Season 1 DLC is already in MW2 right now. That's why there are so many leaks that I haven't really talked about just yet on the channel, which I'll probably talk about in a couple days as we get closer to Season 1, as it makes more sense to do it more towards the release date. But there's a lot of stuff in the game right now that we're getting for Season 1. Of course, we talked about a bunch of stuff removed from the game. Hardcore, the Tier 1 mode, as it's now called, that was supposed to be at launch, moved to Season 1. It's in the game right now. You know what I mean? It's in the game. They're just probably finishing up and waiting to release it for Season 1. We have a bunch of the other weapons as well. It's in the game. All of the bundles for Season 1 and all of the other microtransactions, that's all pretty much loaded onto MW2 right now, or, you know, actively being added. So a lot of the downloads you're seeing and a lot of the content you're seeing is either already in the game or being added very soon. That's just to prepare for Season 1. So I'm assuming a lot of that stuff was already added for Xbox and for PlayStation and PC. We just have to wait a bit longer. We'll probably have a bigger Season 1 update that is available for download or pre-download maybe 2 to 3 days before that update comes out. So that would be probably Monday the 14th, Monday, November 14th, where that full pre-download will come out. And that'll be the rest of the Season 1 content. But a lot of it's already in the game right now. So that's why you're seeing leaks for that stuff, which we'll cover again in separate videos. And what's interesting is that in the past, we would actually usually have 2 different days for, you know, the Warzone update and for the Call of Duty multiplayer / Spec Ops update. For previous Call of Duties, Warzone would get their stuff a day later, and, you know, you would play the multiplayer stuff actually a bit earlier. This time around, we don't know what we're doing here. There's a good chance we may be able to play a lot of this content a bit earlier than expected, which would be on Tuesday, November 15th. And again, does Warzone come first and DMZ? Does Modern Warfare 2 content come first? With Vanguard, you were able to play the multiplayer maps in the game, you know, a day early before it came out, which was kind of weird. In some cases, you couldn't. For this time around, I'm wondering how they're going to do this here. I have a feeling it may be slightly earlier, so we'll see what happens. Of course, I'll be sure to update you guys exactly when that happens there. But of course, that being said, make sure you guys have all of your updates downloaded and ready, especially by next week, because right when that comes out, we'll be playing, streaming with you guys, you know, doing all that fun stuff. So get ready for that. But for some teasers, they're actually giving us some Season 1 teasers right now. This one is very interesting. We have from Call of Duty themselves, at Paul Pogba, Neymar Jr., and Messi are suiting up for a new type of game. And of course, these are football players. And I mean, this is a pretty big deal because they're going to do some type of crossover. Well, let me actually read the leak from the Ghost of Hope. He already said this, but Call of Duty is officially teasing it now. Exclusive, there will be an LTM map and mode for the World Cup crossover in MW2 alongside Messi, Neymar, and Pogba being operators. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let me know down below. You can roast me in the comment section, but overall, again, Call of Duty is just teasing the skins, the operator skins here, which look pretty sick, but it's going to be a lot more than that. You know, it's going to be, again, an LTM, a map, which what map is it going to be? Is it going to be in a World Cup stadium? That's insane if that's the case. The mode, apparently the mode is going to be uplink. So uplink, or maybe a version of uplink, is returning as kind of this World Cup LTM event, which isn't really like football, but it kind of is, you know, I guess in a sense for Call of Duty. I don't know. I mean, it's close enough, I guess. But that's going to be in MW2's multiplayer, which is so sick. Maybe also in Warzone. Maybe they could have the same type of mode in Warzone as a playlist, an LTM playlist there. Who knows? But overall, that is so cool. I am so glad they're doing more real-life themed events like this. For Fortnite, they did this so well. They do it all the time. They do it with actors and, you know, musicians, and those are all so sick. So for Call of Duty to dabble a bit more in that, and starting with the World Cup here, is a really cool thing, and hopefully we get a lot more of that coming very soon. Now, some more stuff here that might affect the content we're getting for Season 1 of this game and for future seasons as well. We have this Optic Pro player Dashy mumbles that Hotel will be taken out after Major 1. So Hotel, well, of course, we talked about the actual real-life Conservatorium Hotel, you know, complaining that they didn't want to be depicted like this in this game. We talked about the potential legality of that. Do they have a case there? Do they not? And I don't know the real answer for sure, but it seems like here this was a map that pro players were going to potentially play or might be playing for official scrims and games and the actual major events, but apparently after Major 1, they might not be playing anymore. Is it because of an outside issue? Is it because of this issue here, that copyright issue, the same one that made, you know, Call of Duty change the Marina Bay Grand Prix map to Crown Raceway and stuff like that? We don't know if that's actually the case here, so I don't want to jump to conclusions without knowing the full facts of what's going on, but it's a concern because is this going to affect all of the future DLC maps that IW had planned for this game? Obviously, the ones that are already made are for Season 1. Maybe they got ready and they're finished with the Season 2 maps, but do they have to rethink their plans? Are a lot of these DLC maps based on real-life locations where they have the chance of running into issues with different hotel owners and different property owners about being depicted in a game that I guess is somewhat violent? I hope not. Of course, I saw some comments, which this could be cool. They're saying that maybe a lot of the MW2, you know, remade maps might come sooner than expected, which I think is really sick. But a lot of you guys might not agree, and you guys want to see some original, uniquely made MW2 maps, and you don't want to see any more remakes, which I understand, but I feel like for this game, I would love to see some classic. I think the classic MW2 maps would fit very well and be super fun to play in this game, as long as we're getting more of the maps we haven't seen remade, like, again, Estate, Sub-Base, etc. Maps that haven't ever been brought back, really. That would be cool. I like Rust, I like Terminal. I don't mind waiting to see them, but overall, I don't mind seeing more remakes, but I hope it doesn't affect their plans to have also uniquely made MW2 maps. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I know, again, we don't know for sure what's happening here, but it definitely is a real concern if pro players aren't able to play it. We don't know what happened to Museum, so I just hope everything's all good. Hotel stays, and we get some new unique maps alongside remakes as well. So we'll see very soon what's happening with that. But that's it for this video. I'll be sure to update you guys more on all of the content we're getting for Season 1. I'll have a big video going through all of the maps, weapons, modes, Warzone 2, DMZ details, all of that stuff for Season 1. We'll talk about it very soon. That's it for this video, though. Be sure to subscribe for more MW2 and Warzone 2 news update videos like this. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.